So, what do you want to do?
I don't know. No intro. Welcome, everybody. This is podcast episode number 21 of the Glaziar Gaming podcast. That is what you clicked on here, so please stick around. This is our Marvel section. We do have two sections, a sports and Marvel. And this is Marvel. We have a big slate of things for you today. We got tons of rumors, not spoilers. We have some Daredevil news. We have some Wandavision stuff. We got Disney Plus Day talk, some Eternals discussion, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, Miss Marvel, Captain Britain, maybe? No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home stuff, and obviously Arcane we want to talk about, and some YouTube information that we wanted to say. So we got tons of stuff going on. Joe, your hair looks really nice. This is episode 21. Our podcast can now legally drink. And buy weed in some states. So we wanted to tell you, if you didn't see our sports section, we talk about this here. We're halfway to 50 subscribers. If we can get 50 subscribers by episode 30, we would like to do episode 30 completely live on YouTube.
I thought you were going to say completely nude.
Well, we can do both. I just don't think YouTube would be okay with that.
Oh.
But I mean, personally, I would do both. Maybe we'll do one on YouTube, one on OnlyFans.
Got it.
We'll like only. What would be a good name for that? Only, because like I'm a member of Only Dads. So but yeah. So anyway, we could do. I would love to do episode 30 live, but we just want to hit 50 subscribers by then. So if you're watching this, drop a subscribe if you're not, and if we can get there, we'd love to do it live. It's really fun to do this. Just a heads up. It would be much longer because this is edited. I do spend quite a while editing to make sure it's a good length for everybody.
Put some hard work into this. I'm just here for looks.
Mainly looks, because if it was just this, we'd be at 0 subscribers by now.
But you know, your wife, your
and
mom.
My own, yeah, and I'd be my own subscriber. So yeah, we'd have a couple, but this mug trying to do anything, please. But yeah, so anyway, we just want to throw that out there. Thank you for the people that have been coming along and the people that already do subscribe. You're why we're here, and you're why we want to continue. So speaking of that, let's get into it. We're going to jump into the huge stuff first, which is Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home has their trailer, or their poster. The official movie poster was released, which has
came out.
Green Goblin's on there. Norman Osborn / Willem Dafoe's.
We assume
there's Doc Ock,
even though it's the exact same laugh as Willem Dafoe,
and it's the same costume,
same grenades.
Doc Ock's in the poster.
Yep.
There is sand coming up in the poster, and
there's a lightning bolt.
And a lightning bolt. So hinting at obviously that's hinting at Static Shock. That's hinting at zombie or the Mummy from the Mummy series.
No, it's Thanos is actually back and he snaps again, and then that's the dust you see. Got it.
So it should be the biggest crossover movie ever with Static Shock, Thanos coming back.
Right.
Gonna be huge.
Gonna be pretty intense.
Huge.
But
yeah, so the poster came out. But there's also other like news sort of things coming out. I just want to say I'm real sick of some of the rumors, like some of them, especially the ones that just seem ridiculous. Oh, maybe because I saw one of people thinking X-Men are going to be the post-credit scene. X-Men aren't going to be in a Sony Products post-credit scene.
No. It's going to be if you're going to get that, it's going to be in Doctor Strange No Way or Multiverse of Madness.
A credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home would most likely be something to do with Venom.
It'd be a Sony product. Miles.
Could be Miles. Like it could be something like that. It's not going to be a major Marvel product. If it is, they are going to have to pay a lot and just like it.
We do this. Maybe we'll do this next week. Where we do our perfect post credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do that next week because I have a good idea on what I would want for this post-credit scene for this one.
And our credit scene for Eternals was spot on and exactly.
Spot on.
That's what
exactly
happened.
What we said. Now we didn't. There's a there's a little portion with that post-credit scene that we didn't predict.
It was actually more. Like when our ideal credit scene, it actually gave us more than our ideal.
Yeah, better. So
but
it was great.
The one that we said was exactly what happened, and then a little
which
bit more.
we can actually talk about this time because this is the spoiler, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yep. But then you put down something here that we want to talk about when it comes to No Way Home and just all movies, especially Marvel movies in general. There's a difference between spoilers and rumors. Here at the Glaziar Gamble, we're all for rumors because, like, a rumor means you can think, like, is that going to happen? Cause speculation, causes discussion, causes some theories, which theories are the fun part to me. Like theory, especially when it comes to like the comic books, because there's thousands and thousands of comic books, and like
there's different runs. Like there's, we talked about last week that Iron Fist is having a new comic thing, so that's super exciting because we're not going to get the old Iron Fist. I don't know his name, but you're not going to get the Danny Rand Iron Fist. You're going to get a brand new one, and that's a whole different run. That doesn't mean that Danny Rand is not canon. It just means that there's a new portrayal that someone's doing. So
just like it wasn't necessarily always going to, Jane Foster wasn't always going to be like
the Mighty Thor.
Right. But then that happened. It's probably going to be very positive when it does become canon into the MCU. But spoilers, however, are just people. It's trolling. It's trolling for the sake of likes, clicks, and to try to attack or take down large companies because they think they're ruining the world or something, or just trolling for the sake of the likes and clicks. Like to like when the Eternal spoiler came out, and they came out saying that Harry Styles was Eros in the post-credit scene. It's like, they didn't spoil the drunk character voiced by Patton Oswalt, the little troll thing.
Yeah, Pip the troll.
But they you spoiled something that it's a 2-second clip that it means something. So when he showed up in a scene that I would have expected the theater to be like, ooh, our theater was silent.
Yeah,
probably because everybody that went was like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. Not a lot of people know who the hell Star Fox is. So they would have gone home and been like, or they would have gotten out of the theater and been like, "Who's Star Fox?" And they would have said, "Brother of Thanos." Well, I mean, it said Brother of Thanos, Pip the Troll.
Right, yep.
But they would have been like, "Oh, that's legitimately like that's the brother of Thanos."
But they already knew who Star Fox was and the fact that he was brother of Thanos before they even saw the movie because they heard spoilers.
Yeah, and then in regards to the second post-credit scene, I didn't see any spoilers for that.
No.
Well, I did right before, but I mean, I didn't.
I got the fact that Gilgamesh died was spoiled, but then that same spoiler also said Kingo died and he doesn't. Yeah. So anyway, I'm all for some rumors. However, if they're over the top ridiculous rumors, I'm so sick of it. Like the hype is basically maxed out for me for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
So anything more from this point is just like, oh my God, I get it. It's like a Charlie Cox interview about Daredevil. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And whether he comes back or not at this point, I'm to the point where it's like, I don't care. You've burnt me out on it.
Yeah. Ran the course too.
So like that sounds kind of like, oh, so dramatic. Like, no, it's part of the allure of cinema is, mystery. It's whether, like, wouldn't you rather be watching something and have a character show up that you didn't expect rather than, ooh, when does that character come in?
Yeah, when is he gonna,
yeah, I'd much rather be like, what? As opposed to, that's when the writers decided to put the character in because it makes sense for the story. Oh, okay.
Right.
Like, that's such a boring way to do it.
Yeah.
I want something that makes me throw my popcorn. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then the person in front of me is just covered.
Exactly.
And like that really.
I want to be okay, and like, I want to be eating my popcorn, right? Eating my popcorn, whatever, and then something happens, and I'm like, no fucking way, like no way, and then I'm
back.
Yeah, I'm like, and then I look at you, and you have the same expression on your face, like you're like what, like what's going on, what, like yeah. So that's what I want. I don't want like oh yep, there he is. There
Could you imagine if Cap grabbing Thor's hammer was spoiled? Oh, by the way, during the big fight scene in the movie, Cap uses Mjolnir.
Yeah.
that scene got ovations during it. That would not have happened. Just want to bring that up to people. Like, that's the thing. That's what's happening. You're ruining movies for people that put in thousands of hours of work making.
Yeah.
I don't care if you hate the company. Your likes and clicks mean nothing to anybody. It's just, I hate it. So we're all for rumors. Spoilers we're not for, which is why we do spoiler-free reviews after the movies.
Yeah. And in regards to what we're talking about, there were some heavy spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Not the YouTube channel heavy spoilers.
No, there were some heavy spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home that were always like speculation. There's always speculation, and it's just kind of like, now we know, just dumb. I would have rather liked to see it in person.
Yeah,
or
agreed. Always.
Have it at, like, Spider-Man No Way Home's gonna have a second trailer, and that's supposed to come out fairly soon. I mean, the movie's almost less than a month away. So
one of these spoilers that like leaked information actually came out with their reasoning, which was if the creators of No Way Home cared about their fans, they wouldn't be delaying things like trailers. And that was the reason. They were genuine. It was somebody who got that information because they were upset at the fact that they weren't being given information. But they got that information themselves, so why do they have to give that out to everyone?
Here's the thing: Spider-Man No Way Home is not even the Marvel movie with the closest trailer to the actual release date, and that was Incredible Hulk. So, I mean, a lot of people don't say Incredible Hulk isn't canon, but it is. Whatever. That was like 90 days, and Spider-Man No Way Home was like 97 or something like that. From so, I mean, that's. You want to keep the mystery as much as you want. Like that's the whole point, is try to keep the mystery. So you have to have hype for you have to have hype for movies, right? So you have to release trailers to get people like talking about it. But you don't. I don't know. You don't have to spoil it.
I brought it up on Twitter at Glaziar Gamble. It's to me, it's the same as reading the last 20 pages of a book before starting. And it's also, I don't know if it was a good comparison, but in terms of emotion, this is how I related to it. It's putting a game on easy mode and then complaining that the game isn't difficult.
Sure.
Like, it has that same feeling to me. When the biggest things are revealed, it's like playing a game on easy mode and then saying that game was too easy, even though you were offered harder difficulties or more realistic difficulties. Right. You were offered the ability to go in blind, and you decided to spoil things. And because of that, everybody goes in on easy mode. And then when they're done with the movie, all of their expectations weren't met because like everything's spoiled. So they finished the movie thinking that was too easy. That was easy mode. So I don't know. That was like how I thought of it. That was the way my brain worked. Anyway,
in regards to I'm not name dropping because you can probably find the name of the watermark that is on said spoilers, but I've lost all respect for that person. I don't even know that person, but I've lost all respect for them. So
yeah, same. Sticking with, we mentioned Charlie Cox. You put this one, so you can take that one away.
Yeah. So David Hayter famously worked on the writing for X2. I know how we all love that movie.
Oh yeah. Right up, all the twos are just the best. Iron Man 2, Thor 2, X2.
So he claimed back at an MCM Comic-Con that he was just in conversation. They were asking about Daredevil, and he's like, yeah, so Marvel's doing a reboot of Daredevil, blah blah blah. And everyone's like, well, how do you know that? You're a former Marvel writer, but how do you know that information? And then he recently came back on a statement and was like, oh no, like I don't have any insider information or anything, but obviously I would love to see it happen, like have them reboot Daredevil, and he would love to write it. And I was like, well, of course you would love to write it. Like, who wouldn't want to take a premiere up-and-coming Marvel character?
I would love to write it, and I'd love in my contracts to say that I get royalties for life, and that my contract's fully guaranteed no matter what happens with the movie. Obviously, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, Marvel's the hottest thing right now, so who wouldn't want the most productive Netflix Marvel show to be able to reboot that with possibly the same actor.
If everybody could pick one to come back, that's the one they pick.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
even Tom Hanks was just asked if he was ever asked to be in the MCU, which he said, "I've never once been asked."
Yeah,
and he was funny about it. He said, "I've never been asked, but I fully expect them to ask me in a few years to say, do you want to come and play the Secretary of Defense?"
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that guy wants to, but you know,
I mean, if your Marvel
Sam
history
Raimi wrote
X2,
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Sam Raimi wrote the Spider-Man trilogy. Kevin Feige, you know, wrote those, like produced those. So,
right, and Spider-Man 3 is like very well known as like a really terrible movie.
Yeah,
people say it's the worst Spider-Man movie yet. So, and he's that. So you know, maybe with some co-writers and good like help, he could create a good script.
Yeah.
I'm voting no if you give me a choice, but
yeah.
And then I don't know what the next one.
I just saw I look up rumors on the thing. Aaron Pierre, I forget what project he's been on. I think it's like the Underground 2 or something like that. Underground something.
Ooh, what a sick name, Aaron Stone Pierre.
Ooh, yeah, Underground Railroad is what he's known for, I guess. So, but no,
he's got 4 things in post-production or whatever already. He's untitled Lion King prequel. He's the voice of Mufasa.
Okay,
so
he's got his hands in with Disney. So
there you go. Yeah.
No.
Anytime somebody has their hand in with Disney in like an obscure project like that, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
they're probably
what else would you like to work on?
Yeah. You know, we really like you in this role.
Donald Glover,
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld did the cover version of the Moana theme song, and now she's Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
You get an obscure project.
I mean, Donald Glover, project. You had Lando Calrissian, Simba, Prowler.
Prowler. Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him Claw, but it's Prowler. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so they have Aaron Pierre. Marvel has Aaron Pierre on?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
They're looking at him.
Well, if he's got like a Mufasa voice with an accent, maybe. He can most people can do an American accent, but he doesn't have to, I'm sure. Right. But undisclosed role. Aaron. Could be anything. Could be anything. Could be anything.
Next, let's move on to some Hawkeye information from Disney Plus Day.
Apparently, the very first scene of Hawkeye has a something fans are going to go crazy
nuts for. Yeah.
And which I said, please don't spoil the fact that Hawkeye shoots the arrow and Nightcrawler poofs in and grabs it. So
Kurt Wagner.
A lot of people are saying that it's probably Kingpin in the first one, but again, that's a rumor.
Yeah, eventually Kingpin is rumored to show up in.
But if you're telling
I don't know if they drop Echo yet. They probably let that character develop a little bit, but
I hope it's a replay of them killing Black Widow just to remind fans, like, hey, remember this?
No. Black Widow's like falling down at the bottom of the thing, like dead, and Hawkeye's like, just to make sure.
I don't want her to die on impact. That's so painful. I'm gonna shoot her between the eyes with an explosive arrow. Speaking of Disney Plus, WandaVision was huge. Loki was the most watched Disney Plus Marvel product, but then WandaVision was next. WandaVision, Darcy and Agatha all saw baby name increases throughout 2021. For females, and Vision has entered. Vision has never once been a recorded woman's name.
Vision has entered the chat.
Has never once been recorded as a female name, and now has been put in the
up
female
11%
category, up
from
11% from zero.
Yeah,
somehow. So maybe it was some, but it was a small amount. I don't know. But anyway, those names all saw huge increases in names, including like 40% for Wanda.
Yeah.
So
fun fact too, you're talking about Disney Plus series. Disney Plus series that was between those, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is happening at the same time as Eternals is happening. I found that out.
Interesting. That's kind of big stuff to be going on for people not to be paying attention.
Yeah. But they were like, they essentially were saying, oh yeah, Falcon and Bucky were too busy with Zemo to realize that.
Well, to me, it's like, that's also a lot of stuff. Like that's a lot of the Celestial thing is a lot for nobody in S.H.I.E.L.D. or Sword.
Yeah, no Avengers to show up.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. But we
Interesting.
talked about that. We were like, how come there's no Celestial or no Eternals showing up to help the Avengers? But then there's no Avengers to help the Eternals. I don't know.
Speaking of Eternals, we saw Eternals, and we did our spoiler-free Eternals review on YouTube. Feel free to go check that out. I thought that's a full breakdown of our opinion on the movie, so we won't give you that here. So if you want to see our opinion, our final scoring, how did it stack up against Black Widow, Venom, Shang-Chi? We give that information in that video. We released it this past week, so on Monday. I just want to let everybody know it had the third best Thursday night showing of 2021, or was that ever? Not ever. I mean, of Marvel.
Oh, probably
2021.
Pandemic numbers.
Pandemic P. Thursday night, 9.5 million.
Yeah, still think Black Widow's number one.
Yeah,
I want to say, but that's also unfair because it was released in 2 avenues. So, yeah, what is it?
Because Black Widow matched its theater with its Disney Plus. So if you want to just appropriate that to this, that means Eternals would be at 19 million.
Right.
Because it was 9.5. So.
If it were, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Marvel's a hot commodity. I mean, like we said earlier. I mean, it's going to be successful regardless.
Yeah.
So
it was an amazing movie. Druig's my favorite.
Yep. Yeah.
Druig, Makari,
Love,
and apparently he might be the Joker.
Joker and Battinson.
That would be. So he was good. He was good. Yeah. So I'm all for it. But yeah, tons of great characters in that movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it, because I mean there are so many good characters in that movie, and with such a big cast, especially a big primary cast, it's easy to pick a favorite. Don't pick a favorite too early.
Yep. With that big of a roster, it has to thin out. So
it has to thin out. Yeah. And the villain was my biggest issue. I think Crow could have been so much more.
Yeah, Crow was like a side
when he
story.
Shouldn't be. Like if you peruse YouTube often, you've heard of Screen Rant, and you've heard of pitch meetings.
Yeah,
the Eternals pitch meeting kind of nails it.
Yeah, they usually nail it. It's mentions.
Well, this seems like it would be an amazing Disney Plus series, like a great 8-hour series. No, let's cram this all into 2.5 hours. Yeah, but I mean, that villain can absorb their abilities, and like that seems like a great concept you could really dive into. No, we're just gonna put him in for 20 minutes and then just kind of throw him to the side. Okay, like it.
Yep.
It's for a 3-hour movie. They missed on a lot of things. So, but it was not a bad movie, and it's definitely not 49% bad.
Yeah.
And that is.
So you said no. You talked about Druig. About Druig, and you talked about Makari. And Makari, the actress, is Lauren Ridloff.
Oh yeah.
Who is deaf.
Yeah, the search for how to learn sign language went up 250% after the opening weekend of Eternals, which is so cool. Yeah. So cool. And Lauren Ridloff said she was very happy to hear that. Angelina Jolie said she felt touched by that. So very cool. And also Angelina Jolie said she learned ballet to practice for Athena because she had to learn how to do movements without weapons.
Yeah. She did make a statement in regards to people bombing it due to the LGBT representation, and she said if you can't look at Phastos and the family he's created and the love he has for that family, there's something wrong with you. So she kind of put those critics on blast, or those people on blast that said it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever, yellow, blue, red, green, it doesn't matter. That love is love depending on no matter how you depict it. So
almost like we're all human no matter what things make us different and unique in real life. Weird. What? You're telling me I can be friends with somebody with different political views? No, that's no way. Oh man. But yeah, so good for her. I agree. And next on our discussion, we have one really quick one. We don't have to cover much, but Captain Henry Cavill Britain. Henry Cavill has expressed interest in playing Captain Britain.
Yeah, he said he's seen all the mock-ups and the rumors regarding him and Captain Britain. He's like, I would love to do something cool with that character. He said a modern version of that character would
that'd be cool.
awesome for him to see. So 100%. I'm down for him.
He needs to
Getting
be in
in
there
there too.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Captain Britain or if it's
Hyperion.
Cyclops, Hyperion, like if it's something, he needs to be a big character. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all for it. So yeah, I wanted to throw that in there because he's interested, and we've mentioned this 1,000 times. When an actor says, "Make me a Marvel character, make me a superhero, I want to play this specific character,"
Yep.
I don't think that's gone wrong yet, which is why I have high hopes for Haley Steinfeld.
Yep.
So yeah, next thing that is we have two out. So that was great news.
Yeah.
We have two just not great news to finish up our Marvel section. First off, Black Panther 2. Their filming has shut down until at least 2022.
Yep. So Letitia Wright was injured on set, and that caused some delays there because she had to get healthy again. And now she is in London, but she is unvaccinated, and in order for London to like fly out of London, you have to be vaccinated. So now she can't leave London.
Yep.
And so that is also putting delays on Black Panther 2 because she can't get to where she needs to get to. So.
Right. And she was supposed to be the new primary protagonist of the movie. Yep. They're already calling for her to be recast, but good luck with that, with the fact that she's supposed to be the primary character.
Yeah.
You said bring in Killmonger.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But because I think the original timeline went like she got hurt and then they had to delay it.
Yep.
And then there was there was one other thing that happened, and then she got hurt again, and the injuries were so severe they had to basically had to upgrade the guidelines on set to try to ensure nobody else got hurt. Something like that happened.
Sure.
Now because she does not want to get vaccinated, she cannot follow travel guidelines in London based on their guidelines. So we don't know what's going to happen with Black Panther 2. It obviously, it's to the point where do they remake it? If they can't, like,
do they write it differently? Like, do they rewrite?
If she refuses to get vaccinated, are they going to have to? What are they going to do? So it's going to be something that, because it's shut down till 2022, it's going to be something we're going to hear about constantly, or we're not going to hear about it ever, and they're going to distract you with all the other Marvel stuff.
Right.
No, that's not happening. We're Morbius and No Way Home and Doctor Strange and Blade.
Yeah.
Don't forget about those.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved Blade up, which I wouldn't be like if they keep. How they kind of delayed everything.
Mm-hmm.
If they move Blade up, I'm okay with that too. So
Midnight Suns, Moon Knight. Those Morbius, those, like, I know everybody's like Doctor Strange and No Way Home are the big ones, and I get it, just like Endgame and Infinity War, those are the big movies coming out. But personally, Midnight Suns, Moon Knight, and Morbius are what I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
The other bad news we have is Miss Marvel,
which we called on the podcast that we was going to get delayed. So.
Oh no, proper credit. Joe called this one.
Yeah.
I jumped on his coattails. Miss
Jump
Marvel
on a
was
lot of things in mind, but
yeah, every time I can. Miss Marvel has been delayed till at least and they said postponed till late fall 2022, which is their projection.
Yeah, and we just said I think we said last week that it was going to be delayed till like summer.
Yep.
So we're looking at like we thought early 2022.
They originally delayed it till end of December. Then it was early 2022. Then summer 2022.
Yep. Now fall 2022.
And so maybe. I think it's it's to do reshoots. I think they're going to make sure that the gauntlets are not her powers.
Yep.
And
we don't want that. It's stupid.
Yeah,
we want to see her with giant hands slapping people, big feet slapping people, her blowing up and going embiggen and then crushing someone.
She has to embiggen. She can't. The gauntlets are not like, oh, everybody loves Infinity Gauntlets, and like no. We want her to have powers. Like, so I think it's all to be reshoot. It's going to cost them a ton of money. They're going to have to pay animators to do the CGI for when she does that. But if you didn't make this mistake in creating in the first place, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
What Mindy Kaling wanted to be a writer or consultant at the least on the show because
long time ago,
forever ago, before the
Yeah.
show was even like in production.
Yeah.
She wanted to be in it because she said, as an Indian woman, she thought she would be able to bring a lot to the table when helping create this Marvel's Indian character.
sure.
And I made this, like, I took this stance from the second that we heard about the gauntlets. I took the, like, I normally don't immediately jump to a political stance, but I don't even really view it as political. But she is a strong Indian girl, and she is a strong female character who is unique, like special in her own way, and she's actually like Mr. Fantastic but better. So she's like better than this straight white character. Like she just like she has these things that make her so special, unique. And by making the powers,
and it's even that it's like it's her personality, the fact she's young, the process she's going through, like with her powers
and the body
just,
issues, like body image.
And just her everything that embodies her character, no pun intended, just has been like it came out and people just grabbed onto it. Like when that comic first came out, everyone grabbed onto it, and Miss Marvel just blew up in popularity. So there's no reason to change that. There's nobody that wanted to change that, wanted it to be changed. And Miss Marvel as a character is perfect the way she is. So
by taking those powers and putting them into a gauntlet, you take away everything. She's no longer this strong female character. She's no longer this strong Indian character. She's no longer this unique girl who went through body issues and then adapted to these powers. It's gauntlets that we could take off and put on somebody else, and they're that character. And that's one of the things, like I mentioned Mindy Kaling, that is one of the things, if you had her hired in that consulting room, writing room, I guarantee she
like,
brings
this dumb as hell. Yeah.
She brings that up and stops them from doing it.
And here's another thing. If like you stated when we were talking just 5 seconds ago before we started shooting, if you want to stay away from the fact that she isn't Inhuman, just don't mention it.
Yep.
Like she can go through Terrigenesis. You can just stay at a later thing. You're like, yeah, I went through a cocoon. Just like Peter Parker in further of his films was like, yeah, I got bit by a spider and this happened. Like he didn't say that right away. We didn't have an origin story where he gets bit by a spider and all of a sudden he's got heightened senses. No, I'm pretty sure he just said back in the day, yeah, I got bit by a spider or whatever. So you can say that in a future thing. Wanda is a mutant. Right, they're not saying she's a mutant, but later on they could make the connection that like, oh, okay, yeah, she is a mutant. We just didn't know it. Or
she and her brother are both mutants, born from a mutant.
Yeah, so
it's so frustrating.
So you can stay away from the Inhuman line, and you could still say that like she went through Terrigenesis back in the day. So I don't know.
Agreed. They could just ignore it. If you do,
here's another thing. If it's truly getting delayed, we're supposed to get Secret Invasion next year. A lot of things with Secret Invasion, there's potential. You could get Chloe Bennett back as Quake. You explain Inhumans there. You could be like Beyond the Moon. You could have Adelan, which is the city of Inhumans, which is on the moon. Thane could be in there. He's half Inhuman. So like, if you truly are delaying Miss Marvel and you're like, all right, we're gonna bite the bullet, we're gonna give her powers, we're gonna say she's an Inhuman, then delay it past Secret Invasion, explain Inhumans in Secret Invasion, and go from there. But
we also brought this up. We have a separate released video talking about it. World War Hulk in the comics, the first place he goes is Adelan to fight Black Bolt.
Yep.
You could introduce Inhumans somewhere in there. It does not have to be in here. So any excuse they give us of why they did it probably has a good enough reason why they didn't have to.
Yeah.
So I think they're delaying it this long because it's going to be completely reshot. Sorry for the people that put into all that work, but it's going to be a better product in the end.
Yep.
That's because you're sticking to a character that is loved.
Yeah.
Wanted to bring that up. Very frustrating, but
we're pretty passionate about that. We've been very, very pro keep her how she is.
Yeah. I mean, it has nothing to do with anything besides the fact like she is already a fantastic character, and putting gauntlets on her ruins her as a character.
Yeah. It's like giving Cap the 10 rings and like an Iron Man armor like at the same time, and being like, oh, this character He's Captain America now.
Making
Like,
Human Torch have his suit be the thing that lights on fire, and his power is that he can withstand the heat, not that he himself lights on fire.
yeah.
Like something along those lines, like something. Like Kitty Pryde, same thing. Like you give her a suit that allows her to travel through walls, not her herself.
Yeah.
That's the level of difference you're doing. It's very stupid. You're taking away what makes them them and giving it to. You're making them a new Iron Man, where people mock them for not being powerful.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Stupid.
That's it for Marvel, though. That's all of our Marvel content. We're going to end on that super high note. But we do have a couple things that we would like to talk about that are not Marvel. We're going to end with a banger. The first thing we're going to talk about. Bang! YouTube is removing the dislike button. Not really. They're keeping the dislike button, but only the content creator, the person who put out the video themselves will be able to see it. The reason they stated is because they did multiple studies over a certain length of time period. They weren't specific on it, but that showed that when people see dislikes on a video, they are more likely to dislike it and form the opinion that they don't like it, and that when they don't see the dislikes, they are less likely to hit it.
Almost like the Rotten Tomatoes Eternal score.
Right. Which, like, part of it is like, yeah, obviously you remove the function of a button, people are less likely, like, oh, I don't see it, so what's the point in even touching it?
No.
So it will like hurt the content creators themselves. They also said it was to stop targeted attacks on smaller content creators. And then they denied it, but we all know part of it is also because companies and stuff that have YouTube channels that put out YouTube channels get large amounts of dislikes because people are trying to get them off their, like, they don't want to see it.
Sure.
Part of it is probably also to protect them. I get it. YouTube's a business. I'm not going to get mad at them for it, but they could at least be honest about it.
Sure.
But yeah, they're getting rid of it. I, as a small content creator, a small YouTuber, I want to see how it affects before I make my judgment.
Sure.
The last thing we'll talk about is the banger. The banger is the fact that this is the best animated anything I have watched in 2021. Arcane by League of Legends on Netflix.
I thought you were talking about that one video you sent me. That animated short, like.
I guess I'm not counting Rule 34 stuff.
I mean, you typed in Squid Game, and that's what came up. So it was just.
Well, I accidentally typed because like the G and C are close, and I typed in Squid Game, and I just got some of the best things I've ever seen. So outside of that, Arcane was
Arcane.
Arcane. Yeah, like, so I think I watched Luca in 2021. I liked it better than Luca. I liked it better than What If. Arcane is amazing.
It's phenomenal.
It's so good.
Very good.
I did comment. I think it would be a better show for somebody who doesn't play or know anything about League of Legends. If you had zero backstory and went into the show, it's better. Because you have things that you know are going to happen. It's self-spoiling because, like,
you don't know in what regard it happens, like we do, like, because if only League of Legends had like something that talked about the lore,
like a journal,
like a diary or a journal,
a
journal,
and it could be something about like the journal of
liberty.
Well, like not liberty. That's kind of like, that would be like an American.
Okay,
sort of, maybe like a journal of justice.
Oh yeah, that would have been perfect.
I miss those.
No, it is unbelievable.
First
we
3
get
episodes.
We get to see Piltover. We get to see Zon. Not Zon.
It's not Zon yet.
Not Zon,
but it is Zon.
We get to see the Underground,
which it's called the Underground now, but it's they reveal it in the 3rd episode that it's the vision of Zon.
Yeah. So, we get to see some of the characters that, like we've been playing as for years. Vi, obviously the big 4, Vi and Jinx, probably the main characters. And then you've got like a side story with Jace and Caitlyn, mainly with Jace right now. And then you've got some other other characters in there. You got Victor, which I was like surprised to see, but I was like, oh, I made the connection instantly. I was like, okay, he's got the cane. Victor walks with the cane or whatever. They're working on Hex Tech. He's got the Hex Tech core. You're making that connection. Echo, little baby Echo. And then Singed. Yep, the guy is Singed. Rise. And then maybe Warwick.
Maybe Warwick. That's one I don't agree with. I don't think it's Warwick, but maybe.
Singe does make Warwick, so that is part of lore. So
So it could be, but that's another one of those things. Like, it'd be better to not know this information.
Exactly, yeah, and speculate.
So I think it would. If you don't play League of Legends, don't know anything about it, watch Arcane. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah,
it's so good. There's the little Krugs that are on sale. I thought that was awesome. I love Little Echo. It's
like Jin masks. Like you get some Jin masks. It looks like in
that walk by.
Well, no, in what is his name? Briscoe's, the place where Echo is.
Oh,
whatever. He's looking at a mask. It looks like Jin masks. So
well, and there's two people that walk by that look like they're wearing Blood Moon or Jin masks as well.
Yeah.
And the theory that a lot of fans have is that Silco is Jin.
It looks. I mean, yeah, I got that too. But
I said I hope not, because Silco's my least favorite character so far.
Yeah.
I know that might be an unpopular opinion, but like
Heimerdinger's there too.
Oh yeah, Heimer. Yeah.
The dong, raise your dongers.
Villains are usually people that I love the most because they're the people. Like if I were an actor, I would want to be a villain. That's why people like anti-heroes, but villains are my favorite. Yeah, I like villains, and so I tend to judge villains harsh, and that
for sure.
The voice acting of Silco, good, but the character development of Silco so far, it's kind of overdone. And like the water scene, I think was like trying too hard when he could have I thought I really liked it, and then it got to a point where it's like, okay, I don't like it. So Silco, he's got a lot.
He's got a lot of development. Hopefully in Act 2.
Hopefully, which with what happened at the end of the third episode, you can tell he's going to be a big part of it. So he will get that development. As of right now, he's my least favorite character.
Sure,
but the way it's going now, I watched there was a 50-second sneak peek of the next act. I watched that on YouTube. It looks good. It looks like there's going to be a time jump, and they're going to be adults now in this next act. I'm really loving it so far. And they just posted out of all the characters in League of Legends, who would you want to see? That was another one of my recent tweets that got a bunch of action.
The possibilities of this is insane.
That's the best part.
You got the Freljord, which would be crazy. You got an Ashe storyline, a Tryndamere storyline.
I said Sejuani.
Lysandra Sejuani, Trundle. You've got that.
I said old Trundle. I would love a Hacklin the Bone Crafter. That's where he finally comes in.
Demacia, which would be insane.
I think Varus and Brand. So my top three I put were Varus, Brand, Sejuani.
Okay. Well, Rise. You got Rise, which means you got Rise, which you could see Brand.
Oh, true.
Rise is Brand's master or whatever.
That was the other one. I said Wukong.
Yeah.
I said Wukong and have him learn from Yi and then see who he picks as his apprentice.
Yeah.
Because the whole Wukong's lore ended in the games when they were still doing lore and stuff.
Yeah.
He was in the process of picking an apprentice, which I thought that was going to be the next champion. Like they were going to announce a champion that was Wukong's apprentice.
I just want to see Aurelia and finally see Zelos.
Yeah, I want Zelos.
You got the ninjas. You got the whole ninja thing too. There's so much. Vandal City,
the Shadow Isles, Vandal City,
Shadow Isles. Yeah, Shadow Isles.
Shurima,
Renekton, and Nasus. Is that Shurima still?
That's Shurima.
Yeah, crazy. Azir, Sivir, Cassiopeia goes to Shurima and then gets cursed, and then that's why she's like that. But then you've got you've got Darius and Draven, and then you've got
Noxus.
Katarina. Yeah, Noxus. You got Katarina, Talon, and Cassiopeia. That family. So
could be so
crazy.
The ninjas.
So much. The ninjas. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So much, man.
So yeah, if you do play League of Legends, it's an amazing show. If you don't play or know anything about League of Legends, I think it's like a perfect show.
Yeah.
So it's so good. I recommend it, and I wanted to gush about it. Arcane's amazing.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
And our most watched video on this channel is an Arcane trailer reaction when it was first announced. Do you got anything else? I think that's a very positive thing to end on.
I got nothing else to say. It's
awesome.
It's amazing. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Same.
Yeah,
Disney Plus
so
Day.
much tomorrow. Disney Plus Day and the second act of Arcane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
For those of you that made it this far in the video, not everybody does, but you must enjoy it. So please like this video, subscribe to our channel.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, because if you like it, your friends, you're usually birds of a
Are
feather
forced to
flock
like it.
together. Yeah, you have to force your friends to like it. As we talked about earlier, your friends can't have differing opinions than you. So
Exactly.
show them this. Hopefully this was entertaining. I always love doing this. We're not going anywhere, whether you
Shit,
want
we
us to
were
stay or
entertained.
not.
We're entertaining ourselves.
But we're not going anywhere. So if you don't like this channel, come back anyway and just see that the fact that we're not leaving. Other than that, we will see you next week. We will be here again. The goal: double the subscribers up to 50 by episode 30. We'll do a live episode, and I think it would be super fun, a nice engaging experience to be able to engage live as we talk about it. And again, you all look great today. Go out, make a difference in the world. GG.
GG.